old wounds become new opportunities, embracing change and growth. Hello and welcome. I'm Nicolene, the Flame Keeper, and I'm here to help you heal from trauma and rebuild your self-confidence. So I know it's not just me. We all come across challenges in our life, things that we wish just didn't happen, and things that we have to push through, right? Now, if you're living in alignment, you may think to yourself, well, these challenges aren't going to exist. They're just not going to appear. Everything's going to be peachy keen. I'm hearing my guides. I'm listening to my intuition, being told the next steps, and I get on with it, and everything's wonderful. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Simply not the case. And that's because we're human. We have human flaws. We have human fears. Things getting in the way of us living in that alignment and living our purpose. It doesn't mean that when things come up that you're not following your purpose or that you're not living in alignment. In fact, the path to your healing doesn't go around obstacles. It faces them head on, because that is the path to your healing. You cannot avoid things that you are running from. You cannot run away from your fears. You need to face those challenges because they help you to grow. And the great thing about challenges, these old wounds do hold a lot of wisdom for us. So I'd like to give you a little story about why I've been so quiet on YouTube. I started this channel probably about a year ago, just over a year ago, and as you know, it's pretty small. I don't have very many subscribers, but I'm super grateful for the ones who are here. So thank you and welcome for listening. But what happened to me was I had a message from the archangels, and they said to me, okay, these are the next steps for you. What we really want you to do, and what is in alignment for you, is to start a podcast. And this is going to be a place where people from all over the world, women, get together and they can tell their stories of the challenges and the traumas that they've been through, and how they have not only survived them, but they've thrived from them. And I was like, wow, this is great. Yes, I can do this. I'm excited. I can imagine the ripple of healing that this will bring to the world. And then they told me the extra bit of the message, the bit that I didn't want to hear. And that was, and actually this is going to become such a big platform that it's going to bring together an army of women. We are talking millions of women. And to be honest, anybody who is sort of in this field and is trying to get a bit of a platform, that should sound fantastic. That should sound like, yes, okay, great, I'll do that if this is what you want me to do, and it's going to bring me these beautiful blessings too. Fantastic, let's get on with it. But you know what? The human me got in the way. And so actually I felt really overwhelmed at the idea of hundreds of people, possibly thousands, maybe even millions, turning up to listen to this podcast and to listen to these stories and to listen to me. I actually felt really unsafe. I didn't feel like I wanted that many eyes on me. You see, all my life I've wanted to slip under the radar, actually. And that's because of a childhood trauma. When I was small, I suffered childhood sexual abuse. And along with that went a lot of neglect, abandonment, and then of course, narcissistic abuse too. And so you see, it was always in my best interests to stay unseen, not to bring attention to myself. And so this was a really big challenge for me. And I really knew that I was going to need to have to face this fear. But there was another part to this message. The same time I received this message, there was also another part to it, and it was, okay, so currently your video is getting about 40 views, you know, and I kind of felt okay with that. I felt safe. And the angels said, well, the next video you post is going to skyrocket. And I thought, yeah, I know how this works. That's not going to happen. It's impossible. Have you spoken to the YouTube gods? No. And So I made a video, I posted a video, and that video, it, instead of getting 40 views, it actually got 4,000 views. And I was completely and utterly gobsmacked, okay? Now, any influencer or person who's trying to build a community on YouTube would be celebrating that win, and they would be going, yes, fantastic, I'm so excited, woo! Let's build on this, let me make some more videos quickly, you know, I've got the YouTube algorithm on my side. You know what I did? This was a year ago. I got so panicked and so scared that I stopped posting videos completely. I was like, I can't do this. This is too scary for me. I don't feel ready to feel seen. I feel very scared and vulnerable. And I shut down my YouTube channel for a year. And all I did was post little 1-minute reels on Instagram. So you see how counterintuitive sometimes. We say we want something, but really we're not thinking it through, because in order to receive something, we're going to need to do something. We're going to need to work through some fears. There's always going to be an old wound that needs to be addressed. If you want to receive the blessing of the thing that you're seeking, I can guarantee it's wrapped up in a beautiful wound or a challenge. And so I had to do some deep healing around that. I had to really establish security in my own body. I had to realize that I wasn't that little girl anymore who was in danger. And I had to continue this process of healing. And I did this over the course of about a year. And of course, there's still challenges. But I'm here now talking to you about it, letting you know that you're not alone in your challenges. We all have them. Are you going to show up and face yours? So I had a big experience where halfway through the year, my mother decided she would come over for a visit. Now, she was a big player in my childhood. A lot of the narcissistic abuse came from her. And I thought I'd done enough healing to sort of be able to cope with the demands that would be placed on me in a 3-month stay. And I did do well. I really did hold my own. I tried to, support myself, nurture myself. Still got triggered, but I did work through a lot of healing. And what happened is, at the end of it, I reached a state where I felt like, okay, I know now what I need to do. I know I have to talk. I know I have to speak and get some of this trauma out of me, because it's going to help me move forward in my challenge. And so I did that, and I committed as well to starting the podcast. And I started setting up interviews, and I started to actually record interviews. And this was after a whole year had gone past of me sitting on this message. And then what happened was, the day that I was, I finished recording a podcast interview, just the day before, I was sitting and was watching something on my phone, and I was looking at it and going, it was a little video of Vishen from Mind Valley, and he was talking about some course that he was doing, and he was interviewing someone, and I just had such a moment of deep admiration and appreciation for him, because I find him to be such a down-to-earth, genuine, trustworthy person. And I said to the angels, one day, angels, I'd love to be interviewed by Vishen. And I just kind of put that out there, and I didn't attach any big manifestation ritual to it or anything. But I was in a high vibration and an attitude of joy and gratitude. And I let it go. The next day, I did my podcast recording. Straight after the podcast, I went into my emails. And sitting in my emails was this message. And I straight away actually just thought it was spam, to be honest. And it was an email from a magazine in Sweden called Brains Magazine. And this is a top magazine that interviews people who are thought leaders in their field. They look for workers who are working in the spiritual field, entrepreneurs, CEOs, expert coaches. And they approached me with a little message saying, hey, we love your content on Instagram. We'd like to talk to you about an opportunity to work with us. And I immediately thought, oh, this can't be right. This must be just spam. Why would anybody be looking at me? I'm not important. I've got a tiny following. And so anyway, I clicked on the link. I opened the link, and the very first thing I saw was a big photo of Vishen. And I knew, straight away I knew, that this had been orchestrated by the angels. And that this was, no, it wasn't an interview with Vishen, but it was a step on the road to achieving that. And you see, I don't think I would ever have achieved that. I don't think I would ever have even gotten the invitation if I hadn't have gone ahead with the instruction that I was given to start the podcast. And in order to start the podcast, of course, I needed to face my fears. So I went ahead. I want to let you know that I'm super excited because I've been selected to be an executive contributor on Brains Magazine. And I am just so grateful and so excited to be able to start this journey of sharing more of my story and helping more people and forming a community of like-minded people that I can learn from. And I'm so grateful for what has happened. It's just such a beautiful story to give you, to indicate what is truly possible when we go into those old wounds, when we are able to heal them by feeling them, by accepting them, by loving them. And that means that we are able to integrate something. There's always a gift. Every challenge brings you an opportunity for growth. And so here I am, just sharing my heart to you, letting you know that you're not alone. We're all on this journey together. And step by step, we will make change and we will grow. Thank you for listening. And if you're interested, you can get in touch with me. I have a free breakthrough call and the link is below. Thanks very much.